My name is Cassi Crowell. I am the Biomedical Science Instructor at Caddo-Kiowa Technology Center. I have a bachelor's in natural science ed, and I hold a master's in education administration. I am additionally certified in Project Lead the Way courses, all of their biomedical science courses, principles of biomedical science, medical interventions, human body systems, and biomedical innovations. I was a science teacher in public education for the first 9 years of my career. I had the intentions of leaving not necessarily leaving the teaching profession, but stepping into an administrative role. And then a job opened at Career and Technical Education, which was just about a mile from my house. And the pay scale difference between public education and career and technical education was so great that I could work a mile away from home and make the same amount of money that I was going to make as an assistant principal driving 45 minutes one way every day. So I accepted the position here. And whenever I accepted the position here, I held both degrees, my bachelor's in natural science and my master's in education administration. But from here is where I trained in all of the Project Lead the Way coursework. My day is divided into morning and afternoon sessions, so I'm different than a traditional high school classroom in that my students are with me for a 3-hour block each day. So during their block in biomed, they will take an academic science course, which this year is human anatomy. They get dual credit for that through Southwestern Oklahoma State University. And then they have an academic math course, which is either Algebra 2, Calc, or Pre-Calc. And then my entry-level students will take Principles of Biomedical Science and Human Body Systems, and my second-year students will take Medical Interventions and Biomedical Innovations. So those are divided into morning and afternoon sessions. So I get a brand new set of kids for the afternoon. I'm currently at capacity in my program, which is awesome. So my day typically looks like starting out teaching our anatomy coursework. And our anatomy classes are much more like a traditional high school class in that they are still application based, but it includes kind of some lecture and those types of kind of traditional classroom learning. And then our biomedical science coursework is extremely application based. It's much more of a collaborative effort where I spend virtually zero time in lecture, but 100% of the time in conversation and collaboration. We make a huge point to create problems that our students then are tasked with solving. And I essentially exist for them as a mentor and a facilitator as they're going through those problem solving strategies. So like right now, our students come to us from a traditional public school and they don't have a huge background in application-based learning or problem solving. So I am much more hands-on in terms of giving them advice on how to solve their problems versus like towards the end of the second semester or even with my second year students, where I essentially then become the provider of the materials that they need to solve the problems, because then they are finding their own problems that they want to find solutions to and then creating those solutions themselves. Probably my favorite thing is the content that we are able to provide to students. In Oklahoma, there's such a huge disparity in terms of financial availability to our science programs. So in a traditional public school setting, or even me as a formally trained science teacher, I didn't come out of college knowing how to facilitate labs or even how to structure those in such a way that would be beneficial to my kids, much less go and ask for the funding to do those labs. And in fact, at our public schools, I taught at Anadarko for 4 years, and I shared one science lab with 5 other science teachers. And because I taught biology 1, we were at the bottom of the totem pole in terms of being able to get access to that lab. AP Biology had first dibs on the lab. So For me, the greatest thing is that our kids that are in our community, which is high minority, low socioeconomic status, are able to come to me at the tech center, and I'm able to provide them with high quality labs that I have been specifically trained for, that specifically prepare them with lab skills that are not only employable for them as college students, but also skills that make them successful when they're stepping onto a college campus. They really have skills that no other high school students have. I have a very generous budget that allows me to give them hands-on opportunities in everything from as simple as micropipetting all the way through forensics, DNA analysis, genetics. So it bridges the gap for my kids that don't have access to things like magnet schools, like, School of Science and Mathematics, or those that are kind of higher end STEM related schools. Here, we have the capability that high schools don't particularly have. I like being able to go get the kids that are choosing to be college bound kids, that are choosing to pursue degrees that are not only STEM related, but specifically related to the medical field. For me, I guess that's the greatest thing. Biggest challenge for me, I would say, is recruitment and marketing. I am the only biomed instructor in the state of Oklahoma that runs the entire biomed program solo. So sometimes I'm stretched a little bit thin, but because of that, because I'm the only one, I don't get the opportunity to get out into our partner schools very often and kind of make my own pitch for this type of program, because the stigma sometimes that surrounds programs that are STEM related is that you need to have a 4-point, or you need to be, you need to have a high ACT score, or you need to have straight A's. You just need to be the smartest of the smart to be able to come and do programs like these. And that's not the truth at all. I always tell kids, I don't really care what your transcript looks like. In fact, whenever I'm doing student interviews, I choose to not look at the transcripts at all. I don't award points based on transcripts. I let student services handle that part. Because it's much more important to me that students come to me with a desire to be challenged, and that they kind of have that intestinal fortitude, kind of survive more rigorous coursework than what they have ever seen. Phlebotomy is a certification that we offer students. It essentially is our certified phlebotomists work in labs doing blood draws for all different types of blood tests. Starting with CBC and then getting as specific as ordered by a physician. So we are actually a health science center here at Career Tech. So I teach in the same building as our health careers program, which is another high school level program. And then also with our practical nursing program, which is an adult level program. So we team teach phlebotomy, where they are allowed to get their certification to where they can, whenever they leave that certification program, can be employed in any healthcare facility doing blood draws. So that is one part of certifications that we provide for them here on site. And then our students are prepared for, my students in particular, they are all college-bound kids that have a desire to pursue something in the health science field. Anything ranging from forensics to veterinary science, all the way to the highest level of medicine that you can get. Really, the only education that's required, it is not a program that requires even a high school diploma. It is what at the tech center, they also teach it as what they call a short-term program to adult students, meaning that it is such a small portion of what our students do, but they can become certified in maybe 6 or 8 weeks, depending on the pace of the instructor. And they basically go through what we call their hands-on coursework, which would be live sticks, where they practice on live humans doing blood draws. They have to have a minimum of 100 live sticks before they sit for their lab checkoff, in which we have certified phlebotomists that will order mock tests, and then they're responsible for carrying out those orders with the correct type of blood draws, and then with meeting standards mastery for each one of the checkoffs for the skills that they need to have to become certified. Well, the benefit of getting certified for my students is whenever they are in college trying to go to class 16, 18 hours a week, they have the job opportunity to become a phlebotomist, in which they have a wide variety of hours that they're able to work, and they're going to make like 16, 18 bucks an hour instead of working at like Chick-fil-A and making 10 bucks an hour. So for my kids, essentially it is, number one, looks great on their applications to med school or to nursing school that they are already a certified phlebotomist. And in fact, in a lot of our nursing programs or in a lot of professional programs where they award points for certificates and additional education, that also affords them those additional points in addition to being able to make more money as an entry level or as an 18-year-old, first year college student.